Awesome. And just so you know, what I'll do is I'll ask you a question and then I'll have to hit the mute button or else it'll like echo sometimes. So if it takes me a second to respond back to you, I have to click the mute button to
Oh, okay.
respond. Um,
Gotcha.
so how are you born and raised in Mississippi?
I am. I was raised most of my life in Hurley, Mississippi, which is right on the Alabama-Mississippi line. And then I've lived all up and down the Gulf Coast my adult life. And now I'm in Gulfport, Mississippi.
So we are on the Alabama line too, but in central
Yep.
Mississippi. Yeah.
I'm familiar with Meridian. Yep.
Are you? Oh, that's right. You said your came grandmother. Is that right?
My great aunt
Great aunt.
lived in Chunky, and we used to go to Chunky all the time.
Yes, the town that eats like a meal. Yes, of
Yep.
course. So tell me how did you come to this fame on TikTok?
Uh, so I started out doing DIY projects around my house, and that's what kind of gained me my first little wave of audience. And then, it gets really hot down here in Mississippi, and it's not a lot of fun filming outside when you're trying to build stuff. And so, I was looking for new material. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and so I just filmed myself making dinner, and that kind of took off. And over the next few months, it got more and more legs on it, and now we're just a full-blown cooking channel.
And so this is your full-time job then?
It is, yeah, as of August, yeah, a month ago. This became my full-time gig.
And what is your history? What did you do before TikTok fame?
What haven't I done? I've worked at Ingalls Shipyard. I spent a lot of my adult life in the hotels and casinos down here in the service industry. I was a bartender for a long time. And then I spent the last 6 years as an insurance adjuster, working catastrophe claims.
And so how does it feel going from that life to now all of a sudden almost a million, followers on TikTok? Number one, did you ever even imagine it? And then how does it
No,
feel moving into this kind of life?
no, no. When I started social media, I really was just doing it for fun and I had no expectations. And then when things started picking up, when I was still doing DIY content, I thought, oh, cool. Maybe a brand will send me like a free drill or something. That'll be cool. Never did I think I'd be paying my bills with this one day. It's wild. I'm loving it though. It sounds so cliche to say it's a lot of work, but it is a lot of work that goes into it. And it's so fun though. I get to do so much cool stuff.
So tell me how the cookbook came to be.
So I had just really started like leaning into being a full-time cook, like cooking recipe kind of channel. And a friend of mine who is also on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, a lot of people know her as Mississippi Queen. She texted me one day and she said, "Hey, my publisher is looking for some new talent. Uh, do you want to write a cookbook?" And I was like, yeah, I'll take a phone call with them. And she said, "Well, I've already told him you were going to do it. So you're in." She's like, "I'm telling you, you're going to do it." I was like, "Okay, cool, let's do it." So I just kind of jumped into it. I had a meeting with them and I liked them and they liked me. And it all kind of went from there.
And so how many copies of your cookbook have you sold so far?
We're about to hit 15,000. So it
Wow.
looks like we're going to hit that this weekend, which I know is small potatoes for some authors. But for me, I remember thinking when I launched it in the first part of May, I was like, man, if I sell 10,000 copies by the end of the year, I'm gonna really feel like I'm doing something. And here we are at 15,000, and we're on track to do that many more by New Year's.
So tell me about the charity that you help so much, Elijah's Closet down there. Tell me about them and how you got um, why why you chose to help them out.
So I told myself when I started social media, when I started posting content, that if I ever had any kind of platform, I was going to use it to do something good. And so it was last summer, it was summer 2022. I had a very modest, I think I had maybe 25 or 30,000 size audience. And people were starting to ask me, can we send you uh, gifts, or do you have a PO box? I want to send you something. And I said, I'm very fortunate. I want for nothing. So I said, let me find a charity around here. Maybe we can do something for them instead. So I just happened to be going to Fayard's. If anybody lives in Gulfport, you know exactly where I'm going to get a po' boy. I'm going to Fayard's on Canal. And every time I went to get a po' boy, I drove by this building and they have Elijah's Closet painted on the side. And so I Googled them and I saw what they did and who they were. So I reached out to her and she said, yeah, swing by the building tomorrow. And I ended up hanging out there for like 3 hours talking with them. And Nikki is the president. And she and I became great friends. And ever since then, for the past year, we've done, for my birthday last year, I was 40. So I said, let's do 40 beds for 40 kids in foster care. And we did. And then we did a Christmas toy drive. And then in the spring, I had a couple of brands that I work with. I had Troy Built, I had Dash. They all gave me, Troy Built gave me a lawnmower for a giveaway. And we did a big fundraiser for Elijah's Closet then. And then in June, we did a t-shirt sale and we raised $6,000 for them. And we just wrapped up another t-shirt sale and we just raised another 5,000 for Elijah's Closet. So
And that's
they do
the
great.
y'all
They're,
t-shirts, right? With
yes.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Y'all come fix you a plate. Oh, I'm so sorry. You asked me, what do they do? So Elijah's Closet, they provide tangible items, real-time resources to kids affected by the foster care system, their families. And another thing that they do that I really love about them is they help biological families who maybe are involved in the system in some way and just need a little bit of help. They will step in and they will help them with whatever resources they need to keep their family together and prevent anyone going into the foster care system.
That is awesome. That is an awesome charity to work for or to work with. What do you see? What do you see, or what do you hope for the future to be for your barefoot neighbor? And how, actually, like, let's back up. How did you come up with the name, your barefoot neighbor?
So a lot of people think it's a play because I'm a cooking channel now. So a lot of people think it's a play on Barefoot Contessa, who I love, but it's not. When I first was coming up with my username, it just, I don't know, it just felt natural because I am notorious for not wearing shoes. And I wanted my social media to be a fun place where everybody feels really comfortable and neighborly. So that's kind of the vibe we were going for. And it just kind of worked out perfectly that I ended up being a cooking show because it is kind of now a play on Barefoot Contessa.
And do you have any experience with cooking prior to your TikTok fame?
No, I am famously a terrible cook. I'm notoriously bad at cooking. I've never my whole adult life been able to cook anything. And so when the pandemic hit and we all started working from home, I didn't have my commute every day. I had all this extra time on my hands. We weren't going anywhere. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to learn to cook. Like, I'm going to learn how to cook. And so I taught myself to do it. And I still do a lot of that. I'm pretty comfortable in the kitchen now, but I still try new things. And whether they work out or not, I still post it and we laugh about it. I made peach cobbler last weekend and it was a total mess. It was a complete failure. And I put it up anyway because that's real life. Not everything comes out how we think it's going to. So it's a lot of fun to laugh about those.
Is that the white bread peach cobbler?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I saw that one. Quite funny.
Yeah.
So what does your family think about your famedom, I guess, that you've reached?
They're all behind it. They support it. They love that I'm able to use it to help organizations like Elijah's Closet. And yeah, I get a lot of support from my family. My nephew, my niece and nephew think I'm really super cool. So
Of course, of course.
oh yeah.
So do you get noticed down over there in Gulfport a lot? You know, like, I see you on TikTok.
I do. I do. Um, I get noticed a lot and I love it. And I get stopped. we were out the other day. I think we went to 3 different places, and all 3 places I got stopped. And I think it's so much fun. I love to meet people. And sometimes people will tell me, I saw you out today, but I didn't want to bother you. I'm like, bother me. I love it. It's fun. So yeah, we do. We get noticed quite a bit.
What do you see for the future of my barefoot or your barefoot neighbor?
uh Man, I did not see this coming, so I don't even know. I'm gonna keep saying yes to things. That's what brought me here, was saying yes to everything that came along. That's what got me to this point, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Uh, we're doing a cookbook number 2 in 2024, and this one is going to be pretty hard for me to do because if you follow me, you know that there's no dietary restrictions on what I cook. We eat all kind of stuff, but I really want to make a cookbook for the people who have celiac disease or diabetes, or who are vegetarian or have dietary restrictions. I want them to be able to make good Southern comfort food as well. So that's going to be my focus for the next book in 2024. Beyond that, it'll be a surprise. I have no idea.
Do you have an anticipated release date of the 2024 book?
I don't. I'd like it to be summer next year. I've yet to start on it though, so we'll see.
Have to see how it happens. All right. Well, thank you so much for not only waiting on me. I'm so sorry and so embarrassed
Oh
that
no,
happened.
no, that's totally fine.
And then, of course, like rescheduling with me, with my daughter having the baby. And
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. He's amazing and perfect, and I love him. So,
Of
but
course.
I appreciate you so much. And I'm actually, we are, the same company owns WLOX, which is a station down there on the coast. And so I'm going to make sure that they also get a copy of this, the interview and everything. So if they want to run it down there or whatever,
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
that'd
I've
be
been
awesome.
I've been on Good Morning Mississippi a couple of times. It's a lot of fun.
Really,
So,
yeah.
yeah, we
Awesome.
like WLOX.
Yeah, I do too. Of course, they're owned by the same company, so I have to. No, I'm joking. But no, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk to me so much, and it was so fun getting to meet you. And then I also appreciate you noticing my comment in your live stream, and being willing to do this.
I love it. That's what I tell people if they're going to get into this. You never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah,
You never know.
Never know. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if I have any other questions that I need to like maybe fill in the gaps and stuff, I'll shoot you emails. But other than that, I appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks so much. I appreciate you,
Thank
Kara.
you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.